Sound check is good. How can I not open my own live chat? Sound check. Okay, hello. Hello, Galvatron again. How my live setup? Okay, so last time I finished Enryu, and now Choryu's turn. Should be about the same ordeal. Okay, these are all the leftover parts. Finally found that shoulder. Okay, just gonna go grab a drink. Okay, just gonna take this slowly, just casually. Now we have Mikoto Utsuki to greet us. I have no idea who these characters are yet. $38. If there's a 38. $37, and this time I'm not gonna cut off that stub. Intentional port. Yeah, you didn't cut it off. Okay, what if this is actually structural to the combined form? So, which is gonna be a bit of a trouble, that is. Okay, now to fish around for the other parts again. Yep, here are all his other torso parts. Just logging in somewhere first. Okay, just logged in. I just logged in back to my chats. Nice Latins. Okay, so which shoulder did I preemptively pop off last time? No, it wasn't on the other runner. It was on the other runner, wasn't it? Okay, here's the shoulder. So now I'm off to 41 again. 41 and 835. Yep, that's the shoulder. Look at those snappable sprues. Okay, hello Tobot V fan and 안녕하세요 박나나님. And oh, don't you mean Twin Punch looks more like Choryujin, and then every other blue and red symmetrical docker. Okay, there's the shoulders working. Oop. That was a B3, wasn't it? Okay, nice and shouldery. Now for the torsos. The torso bits. That is a C3. No, that is, C2 is over here. Yep, here's the roundy thing. Here's the roundy waist pivot thing. And now to 180 this thing. 180 it. No, I snapped it on the wrong way. How does that prevent 180ing it in the wrong direction? Okay, now for the C2 door. $39 and $40 right here, the two halves, these very curved halves. $39 and $40s. Once again, you guys be a little confused about where these. Okay, go. Swivel at the waist. And the he can groove. Okay, now twist his neck off to put it back on. Twist his neck. Yeah, now that part that conveniently fell off, and now I just leave the big white sprue mark there. And now I will play some random copyright-free background music. that I haven't tested yet in surround sound. Me trying to rip off these sprues sometimes. Just time for head unit. And now neutral face for Horyu. Well, gonna have to remember to take these alternate heads off and then put them in a little baggie. Now the right arm. double elbow kick. Not this wheel. Apparently I'll use this wheel for this C2. Now I just have to pick on from C1. Now for the 24th. 24th. B126. Wait a minute. Where's B127? I don't remember when I used B127. Oh yeah, so there's a little bit of B127 in their arms.
Well, the frick done. Sometimes when I'm trying to make flashy edits like this, I also get pretty intimidated.
With ads. Mushroom sweeper. Yep, careful not to cut off this. Launch. Knew it was getting real. Right arm docking. They're pretty easy to twist off. Okay, not really, but
스틱 피클 때 수치 안 남는 건
Okay, that's elbow, double elbow chick. Now, where's the other wheel? Okay, I just used the C1, but now where's the other? Okay, I guess I'm just gonna listen to one of those Transformer video essays for myself. For as long as that audio allows.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like if Captain America and Optimus Prime were together in the same room? Or if Megatron and Dr. Doom got together to try and take over the world? Personally, I'm not big on crossovers, but even I have to admit that it seems like there would be some rich possibilities for a character-centric crossover between the Transformers and some of Marvel's most esteemed characters. I think in a lot of ways, a meeting between the two properties seems like a no-brainer. It practically writes itself. So then, what happened here?
Wheels. Did I accidentally pop up a wheel? And what was I supposed to do?
In October of 1984, the third issue of The Transformers was published by Marvel Comics. Number 3 in a 4-issue limited series, this issue planted the robots in disguise firmly within the shared universe of various Marvel properties at the time, with the most notable element being a crossover with Spider-Man. In the pages of the comic, the web slinger teamed up with Gears, if you can believe it. Yeah, that's right. Gears was periodically given stuff to do in the 80s. How about that? Pretty wild, isn't it? 23 years later, in 2007, the Transformers in the Marvel Universe would collide once more in another 4-issue limited series titled New Avengers Transformers. This was a dedicated crossover event bringing together characters and ideas from IDW's current Transformers continuity and what I assume must have been the current New Avengers.
What happened to the wheels? Did they seriously lose a wheel?
As this is a Transformers themed channel, the Transformers side of this crossover is my primary concern. Now, some of you may be wondering to yourself why I'm covering this crossover as part of the IDW retrospective. Surely it's not canon, after all. Well, it's complicated. Complicated enough that even if we determine...
Did I actually pop that off? Yeah, you're gonna have to go. I'm gonna go without it. Egg. Yeesh. A wheel's gonna be harder to find in a shoulder.
Seemed to hint at what would come next in IDW's Transformers continuity in terms of shifts in editorial.
Wheelless forearm.
Though it's worth talking about what exactly this series is. New Avengers Transformers is set primarily in the fictional nation of Latveria, dominion of the Marvel villain Dr. Doom. Here we find Megatron and the Decepticons acting on Phase 2 of their infiltration program, fanning the flames of conflict across the world with the long-term goal of destabilizing civilization and making the planet easier prey for Decepticon conquest. To do that, Megatron is goading Latveria into a war with Syncaria, another fictional Marvel locale. In addition to having his Decepticons pose as Latverian vehicles, Megatron is making use of a device stolen from Dr. Doom called the Psycho Prism to heighten tensions between the two nations. The Psycho Prism...
How could I have made my instructions so careless? I left these brand new instructions all crinkled. Yeesh, I just put them on the floor and it got crinkled by moving the chair. I know. How am I gonna flatten this? I'm just gonna roll it. I'm gonna have to roll it up now. Roll it up. Hopefully that will get some weight back. Okay, now looking for hands. Maybe that's where I find the missing wheel, because I don't remember which screw this hands were on. C3, of course. The other C3 then. How could I lose track of 2 hands? I mean, I think I might have misplaced one of the C3 screws, so that's why. Hey. This is C1, this is C3, this is C2. Do we seriously only have one of each right now? Up. Yeah, one of the came right behind you. Wait, no, wait. Yep. There are my hands, and there's the wheel. Silly me. It was behind the big screen monitor. Okay, I realize my battery is slowly draining with the plugged longest USB cable I have. That is a slow charger one, unfortunately, so I can't sustain it. I think I better bring out the backup battery soon. But feel the feast after I reinsert that wheel. The power bank will be coming up shortly. I think I have enough just to build the forearm.
Creates something referred to as an aggression wave, which, as you may be able to piece together from the name, causes humans to become much more aggressive and even violent. The Avengers roster of this book consists of Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Marvel, and Wolverine. Spider-Man is captured early on, leaving the remainder of the team to grow increasingly hostile as they succumb to the psychoprism, eventually turning their violent aggression towards the small group of Autobots arriving on the scene. Among them are Optimus Prime, naturally, Prowl, Ratchet, Jazz, Bumblebee, and Wheeljack, kind of, but not really.
Burying the B2s.
We'll get to that later. Anyway, there's another ingredient in Megatron's scheme he's cooking up, which involves making use of something called mirror response mode, some kind of...
Where is the other? Where's the other? Where's the back of this bicep swivel? This is on B2, but did I pop that off early too? I think I might have popped that off earlier. Let me just put it back on. He is just going to be lying here angrily while I find his brother's back of bicep swivel. I guess I might as well pop off these parts because they're going to be used. Hook. Hook. I think I just popped that other bicep off out of sheer habit. But in the meantime, I realized they didn't give the nozzle for his melting gun. It's not in the instructions. Guess I'll just have to make do without it. Da dee da din don. Now the other wheel. It's right here. Hello again, Star Productions. I guess this is a chill one. This is a chill stream, I guess. I didn't exactly announce this beforehand because like the YouTube live stream just had a problem where it just will not well it just refused to start a scheduled live stream. So I just had to reschedule that one last hour and then the last day. And then just bring up this one to get it working. And I found it, but I lost the back of his bicep swivel, so that is the big unfortunate. If I don't find that lying around somewhere, it's gonna keep popping off. Yeah, but there's his right arm docking, his left arm docking. Okay, I'm just gonna go get my battery. batteries, okay, and then emergency lift. Okay, emergency battery setup activated. Emergency battery back setup failing. Okay, emergency battery setup on. 75% charge should be good. And I still haven't found that bicep symbol. Do you have a shockwave? No, you don't. Okay, let me check it. Okay, in the meantime, let's just build his legs. Okay, now I'm back to listening to a Transformers video essay, just for background.
Protocol as well
The
as
one with the Avengers crossover.
To essentially absorb superpowers, I guess. Maybe it's more of a booster. I'm not really sure. In any case, Spider-Man is selected as the ideal subject to exploit because of something to do with his irradiated blood that can be converted into a sort of enhanced energon isotope. I don't know, it's all pretty vague. A bit of a hokey contrivance to add a deeper connection to the Avengers and the Transformers, but it's also kind of fun in a campy Saturday morning cartoon sort of way, so I'm not too bothered by it. As you might expect with the inclusion of Latveria, Doctor Doom makes an appearance in this series, first helping the Avengers by freeing some of them from the effects of the Psychoprism. Then he seems to join forces with Megatron, which ultimately amounts to nothing more than cheap drama that lives and dies over the span of a couple pages. Look, there were a lot of interesting ideas in here that didn't really take off or go anywhere. Maybe that's due to space or time limitations, maybe because the script just needed another draft or two. I'm not really sure. Regardless, with the clock ticking down, the Avengers and the Autobots have to contend with supercharged Decepticons.
The spruce shit off again.
All-out war and rescue Spider-Man in the process. You can probably surmise that the good guys prevail in the nick of time, and it's thanks to Iron Man's Transformer-sized suit, as well as Prowl and Ratchet.
Okay, remember, the kneecap is on this way, not the clear right side that they want to do.
Megatron swears vengeance before retreating, yada yada yada, textbook supervillainy, and then we get a last page stinger that kind of hints at Ramjet disguising himself as the Avengers Quinjet, but the book doesn't really commit to it, and this ultimately goes nowhere. A recurring theme here. The entirety of New Avengers Transformers was done by a creative team we hadn't yet seen in IDW's Transformers comics, with writing by Stuart Moore and art by Tyler Kirkham, neither of which I was familiar with prior to this crossover, and yeah, this one's a bit of a mixed bag for me. It's a fun crossover, don't get me wrong, but I don't find there's enough to sink my teeth into, so it's not one that I come back to very often. There isn't much here in the way of deeper themes or even character moments, really. It sort of seemed like they were going for something with Iron Man's musings on man versus machine and what it means to be human, but it really fell flat for me for two reasons. First, it ends up feeling like hollow sentiment. The strength of the human spirit, ingenuity, and force of will doesn't really come through here. Rather, it's more of a circular thing where the thing that makes us human is that we're human. Deep stuff. There's no genuine reflection on any specific qualities that make us human or the inspirational qualities of humanity that emerge in the face of adversity. It's just humans good, robots bad, which sentiment just doesn't really sync up with what this book is, which is humans teaming up with the Autobots. So it's not really man versus machine, it's man and a machine versus other machine. Plus, there are these dual instances where that line between man and machine is blurred, like the Autobots powering up Iron Man's armor or Ratchet and Prowl getting a boost from Wolverine's blood. I mean, there's something there. Something that could be extracted from all of this about man and alien machines working together and lifting each other up towards a common goal, but there's no reckoning with any of that on the part of the script. Add to that the fact that Transformers fans are very much accustomed to the idea of the Transformers being much more than simple machines. You might even say, all of this means that we're really just left with a crossover that is fairly toothless, one that I don't think really plays to the strengths of either franchise. And maybe it's just because I'm more of a Transformers fan than an Avengers fan, so I'm holding their half of the crossover to a higher standard, but I think our resident robots in disguise get the short end of the stick in this series.
Okay, I just thought of a question for the viewers. What do you think of the new Tobot special pack color changes that are going to be coming soon for season 3? You know, the one with heavy metal and a rather nice industrial teal blue, and then Tobot Sonic in a bright blue, and then yet to be a scene for Tobot Ken. 네, 감사합니다, 박나나님. I guess personal thoughts. I guess Tobot Sonic is looking a little baby. He has some more gold highlights. Okay, so. But yeah, I guess Tobot Ken in a black would be like a sleek ninja kind of Kendo ninja. But I guess it's a little. Is Sonic a little royal with like the golden metallic gold highlights in addition to the bright blue that I don't think is a real Santa Fe color yet. Just the Atlantis blue is just like a regular blue, but not sure like a bright blue like that. And I think heavy metal is the much needed color change because if you have that one, you know, you can just keep stop with the allegations if you just have that version of that heavy metal. Okay, another rumor. Do you think the rumor is true that the Tobot is not working with Ocean Productions anymore? That's why the dub is so delayed because they're just trying to get a new studio? Or do you think it's just production issues or budget issues? Because I had blind faith that the Ocean dub, English dub, will come eventually, but yeah, just we're just really impatient, I guess, because we had an expectation of April, but it's not. April has come and passed, come and gone. So confidentiality for little dubbing studios like this. Okay, now the blue part. Nice clickety snap. Hello, Victory Star. Hello, Victory Star. Am I going to review the T-Spark Genesis? I mean, the T-Spark line is generally just way out of my price range. But I set up, I mean, I know there's the X-Kaiser one. I mean, what? I guess since this is the most affordable GaoGaiGar, I guess I was maybe I am maybe thinking of going back and getting that GaoGaiGar model kit that I saw in shelves last year, if that's still in stock. I'm not sure for T-Spark. That's obviously much more. Okay, so that's $185, but still, I'm still not the biggest Brave fan yet. As I said, I'm overly familiar with Dagwan as a kid watching the videotapes, but I guess I'm just gonna get my Brave fix with the newest hellokarbot. Maybe if I can get an affordable Fire Dog one. If I am gonna get something with T-Spark, it is gonna be that Jinrai. Oh, so that's how they did it. I guess I saw the product list leakings. The cloak was on a separate accessory, so I guess I'm just waiting for that sponsored copy to ship out before I can actually experience it for myself. And there is no announcement on the board yet, but I'm assuming it's gonna ship out on Monday, like the Carbot Axe here. If only Tobot Classic or Paragon had that same cape treatment, but instead he gets a papery thin paper cape that most kids will have lost or scrunched up or discarded, and only collectors will have kept that perfectly pristine in the box. Or you just have to get a old figure wiring cape to get that thing working. And I realized they shouldn't have put that foot in yet. No, the foot is whole one piece. You just had to angle it in right. Did I forget to put in the foot piece, or is the foot piece already here? Of course, I forgot to put in. Of course, I forgot to put in all of this. I just totally skipped this step because it's right. The instructions are right in the corner there, so it's kind of easy to miss. His leg grill and the A's. Okay, so the foot. Here's the foot piece now. Man, this stream is lated. I am looking at my latency, and it is really behind. Okay, that's better. No, wait. How I am scatterbrained. Yep. Okay. You can do the shuffle. Okay, that's one leg complete, and now time for other leg. Okay, I will resume that video as C.
And take the characters, for example. I don't claim to be fluent in Avengers, but I would argue that this series feels more like an Avengers book with Transformers window dressing rather than a fully fledged of the two properties, if it makes sense. The Marvel side of the world just more alive and vibrant, whereas the Transformers side feels a bit stilted. The personality of the Avengers in this series generally fits with what I would expect of these characters. Spider-Man quips, Wolverine is grumpy, Iron Man is a bit of an ass, Doom refers to himself in the third person, and so on. But the Transformers characters? Oh man, forget about it. There's just not much there in terms of character or personality. Most of the Autobot dialogue is interchangeable, and none of the Transformers characters overall really do anything to distinguish themselves from one another. Optimus never really does anything that cool in this book. He never has one of those Optimus Prime moments, which is a pretty big strike against it, in my opinion. And Wheeljack gets sidelined very early on, which also seems like a mistake. I've always felt like Wheeljack is a great way to move the plot along due to his status as a mad scientist and inventor, but that role kind of just falls to Ratchet. Again, it doesn't really go anywhere that's substantial. Not really. Which feeds into the biggest problem this book has in terms of Transformers characters, which is that there's just nothing here that plays to the individual characters' personalities or unique talents. This is especially noticeable amongst the Autobots.
The sprue came behind here again.
In a book that's already chock full of good guys. The Decepticons fare somewhat better, but I think that's mostly because there is a much less crowded roster when it comes to villains. And arguably, Doom shouldn't even be counted among the book's bad guys, but you get what I'm saying. It's hard not to feel like there were some squandered opportunities here. Iron Man and Wheeljack geeking out and working together to create some crazy new tech to save the day would have been a lot more exciting than the Autobots plugging into Iron Man's armor, but that would mean not sidelining Wheeljack, something this book really wanted to do for some reason. And I feel like an actual team-up with Doctor Doom and Megatron could have been cool, but it would have needed to be one that got some time to grow and change and develop a bit before the inevitable betrayal, rather than the rushed alliance and falling out that we got.
맞춤하는 사람들. 요즘엔 칼빈네들은 새로 나온 배운.
And then there's Optimus. Like I said previously, Optimus Prime doesn't really do anything here except stand in the background or say roll out a couple of times. There are no real Optimus moments.
I put the upper thigh on the wrong way again. Why do I keep doing this?
Between Optimus and Captain America.
Unless it's like this, no.
I
don't think so.
Giving us a visual parallel of the two characters over Megatron's line about Optimus as an old soldier. I know the tone of New Avengers Transformers is mostly on the lighter side, despite impending war, so while too much seriousness might feel out of place, there was still a real opportunity for at least one endearing moment between Captain America and Optimus Prime, and I know that because we essentially got it in issue 5 of Skybound's Transformers series. True, Sparky is not a superhero, he has no powers, but the underlying idea is basically the same. Two old soldiers bonding over their experiences in war. Now, I like to meet a work where it is and not constantly compare it to something else, but sometimes comparison can help us articulate why something works or doesn't work or what we think is missing and so on. And in New Avengers Transformers, Optimus Prime is a substantial part of what's missing for me. Sure, he's a physical presence in the book, but the essence of the character is nowhere to be found. Some bold action sequences with him and or character moments between him and the other Avengers or even the other Autobots would have gone a long way for boosting my opinion of this series. This is obviously something that Skybound series does really well, so when I think about what could have elevated this crossover, I can't help but think about issue 5. The Transformers kind of get the short end of the stick when it comes to the art in this series as well. Although don't get me started on this take on Wolverine from the cover to issue 2. Why is he so puffy? But let's not get into the covers. Let's stick to the interior art. Tyler Kirkham handles art duties here, and I have to say, I generally like his style. I'm not really familiar with his work beyond this book, but in New Avengers Transformers, he's operating in a style that looks to me like it's influenced by artists like Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri, so of course that works well.
Okay, nice knee bend.
It's a bit more complicated when it comes to the Transformers roster. There is some good stuff here, to be sure. The vehicle modes look great, and the general aesthetic is pretty nice. There's a good amount of added detail and line work that makes the characters look mechanical and interesting, and it's very much in keeping with the IDW style of the time. And there's a pretty nostalgic reference to the cover of issue number 3 with Spider-Man and Megatron that's sure to make any fan familiar with the Marvel run break out the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing meme. However, there are a few notable things that miss the mark here. Sometimes the Transformers characters look pretty good, or at least fine, but sometimes they're just a little off. At times, they look awkward and stiff, especially when compared to how Kirkham draws the human characters, which are much more dynamic and natural looking. What is up with some of their faces? I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think some of them, it just looks weird to me. And then there's the issue of scale, which, sure, scale is often a consistent problem and a point of contention in this franchise, but my issue was less that many of the characters are too tall, but more that the overall scale and proportions of the characters contributes to the Transformers being bland in this book. With how Jazz, Ratchet, Prowl, and Bumblebee are frequently drawn, Optimus Prime fails to stand out as the bulky, imposing presence he almost always is in other depictions. Likewise, Bumblebee and the other cars being so big and bulky makes the team less unique and interesting visually. For me, scale in this franchise is not about focusing on how precisely a character conforms or strays from the holy scale charts, but how it contributes to variety and visual interest for the multitude of characters in the Transformers universe. Some of the characters are smaller, some of them are taller, and different heights in between. I think that just makes it a lot more interesting, personally.
Okay,
If I had
least
to
functioning.
guess, and I am just guessing here, I would say that I wouldn't be surprised if Kirkham didn't.
But I put these knees on the wrong way.
Guidance for some of the minutia here. Ramjet's appearance being based off the box art for his G1 toy is the biggest giveaway, I think. For the rest of the cast, Kirkham was clearly referencing the work of E.J. Sue and Don Figueroa from the main IDW books, even if he added some of his own personal touches. Ramjet, who had not yet appeared in the IDW continuity, likely did not have any pre-existing designs for Kirkham to reference. Whether it was Kirkham's decision to use the G1 toy version or someone on the editorial team, I don't know. But it is a somewhat curious choice, though not one that I totally hate, to be honest. I think it lends a bit of charm seeing the character done in this fashion, personally. It's just not very consistent with what we've seen so far and what we would see after this. I don't want to come across like I hate everything in the art here, because that's not true. I mentioned that the Marvel characters turned out pretty good, and there are other things as well.
Okay, now
While the
functioning needs now
Transformers may look a little odd in robot mode, the vehicle modes are actually quite nice, excellent even. And there's some cool stuff that they do there. I imagine that this is a mix of the art and the scripting, but there are points where the vehicle modes are used in clever, unexpected ways, and entertaining ones, like the part where Ratchet deploys his airbag to incapacitate Ms. Marvel. One thing that blew my mind is where Wolverine stabs his claws through Jazz's wheels, as in the rubber of his wheels, and Jazz cries out in pain. This is most likely just a mismatch between the writer's intention and the artist's interpretation, but I never really thought about whether or not Transformers had feeling in their wheels. But now that I have, I'll never be the same again. This is...
Okay, now question time. Okay, hello, Cruz Sovetico. Thank you for coming. It's thank you for coming. Be with you in a moment as I finish up this leg. Okay, so Star, I think I'm not sure where I found what manual Targung you're referring to. Just because I think I might have done something unintentional reference to something on Targung. Okay, looking for wheel caps. That's the B2s. The other B2, I guess, or the B1. Come on, where are you? Okay, here they are. Here are the wheel caps. Okay, 2 legs finished. Now just need to build a waist and let me get more materials. Okay, it's let this. Hey. Okay, and so Vetico, I will finally answer your questions once and for all. I am so sorry for just putting it off, and you're being really persistent. Sometimes you need to know when you need to step back a bit, but live streams are doing it. Good time to do as any on a live stream. Flame Nova is like 70 centimeters in width, 170 in length. Basically, like he's a pretty small fire truck. This is a Volkswagen Beetle, not even a Bumblebee. It's a pretty small truck. I think it should be a bit bigger compared to this kind of truck. Or it's a pretty small helicopter in comparison. And then this digger unit is the biggest of them all. Nearly 110 centimeters. The dump is somewhere in between. Yeah, so okay, the combined form I think is fine. He's pretty dynamic, just good final boss energy, but it's just the biggest drawback is just the big shoulders. The shoulders commonly attributed to Hot Rod just makes it the shoulder a little clunky, hard to pose. But other than that, and maybe this back torso bit just pops up easily because of the ball joint. But other than that, it looks good. He looks good if you just wanted him to have it standing. And the fact this guy has individually articulated fingers is a really premium bonus. I know, this just gives me Power Dog 1 reminders. Just reminds me of the Power Dog 1, Fire Dog 1's Power Dog 1. Just the general shaping in the big shoveless. Yeah, so that makes Flame Noah a bit the most Brave related thing. Okay, with the burning Nova questions settled for now, let's go back to the waist. $39. $39. Okay, I'm seeing that my the public live stream is up to date, but the actual in live stream where I can see the comments is where the comments are up to date, but the footage is way lagging anyway. Here's 39, which is already off of here, so I gotta find it. Look at the other one. Here, see. Star Frown. The magical artifact that makes you really depressed. Okay, I know it's a Star Crown, but I don't know. Probably Flame Nova with his multiple vehicles. And like, who wants to make a story of how they got the Star Crown, how the pirates got the Star Crown? So if I didn't answer Mr. Spam's questions, I guess I would have just waited for the Chinese release of the second half of Metal KRBrickBot S, which I am still predicting it's going to be by August or October right now. Hey, but in the meantime, there were new Galaxy Defender Blokis. I wonder when they're gonna make Wave 2 for both of them. I guess when the second half of Metal KRBrickBot S releases, then they'll have more characters put in those little Blokis. Okay, here's 40. Now his butt plate. It's it's a car versus car. You know, car 1-on-1 battle should be enough, and then Wild already was there, but then got injured. Skirt flaps. Okay, thinking back to Tobot, I meant to ask about Tobot. So, have you heard of the first ever Tobot console game on Nintendo Switch and now on Google Play? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna put up a long play form of it, a long play video review of it, commentary, just a basic commentary. How many apps does one need for? Or it could be storage space. Okay, so now waste leg assembly after the hips. How can I got to assemble the hips? I guess I eventually recommend getting like a terabyte, just a multiple terabyte external hard drive, or just multiple SD cards, like up to 256 or 512 gigabyte. I mean that's pretty expensive, but I guess occasionally just the cost should go in there. I guess. Okay, here's the other hip. Would that have been a great rematch? Like Giga 7, it probably I think Giga 7 would win after epic struggles. The epic finisher would win. Okay, he's complete now. Just his weapon, his ladder and weapons, and then the combiner parts. Crane. He is the crane. Guess the most powerful villain mech would either be Tyrant or the Fortress. Dum 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 dum. Oh, that's two. The crane winch is two pieces actually. Okay. Where's 17? Where's number 17? 15, 14, 15, 16. Let's get C127. That's probably Cliff Jumper's number. Okay, emoji game. Little emoji game against the Red Blitz. Yeah, just a bit of an offhand. I guess a bit of an offhand comment. Just with the oil tanker size. I guess just wondering, what he has with such a massive tank. What sort of oil would need to be carried in that capacity? It says the instructions say A17, but I don't see it 17 on here or. Liquid electricity. Okay, the 17 was the yellow part. When you are colorblind in the sense of you're just focusing only on the colored numbers, not like their own separate sprues, even though they're like on the same sprue. Anyway. Oh yeah, nice. Interlocking to form the stripes. And now for the hook I put off, I just decided to cut off and put off to the side, which I thought was a good idea. There's a chest. Wait, here's the hook. Okay, here's the hook. Okay, so I guess the first one was Red Blitz, and now the next one is Gigantrix. Okay, here's his nozzle. Little crane nozzle. Okay, I think I'll just take off the handlebar and then I'll be done with this sprue. Yeet. Crane boom. Blue Heart Buster Gallon. I am being a bit reckless with the spoon right now. Indie race car with a whole bunch of colors, Flash Vector. Or the Mirage Bebop. Crane Boom. Okay, I'll let you in on something. I guess I'll let you in on something. If I just kind of lost wind after. I guess I wasn't gonna do an awful review for Flashback there. Just say how he's a blatant ripoff of Mirage, and I'm just saying they did Hasbro should definitely sue Sam G just because of the Mirage Flashback there. That was gonna be a terrible joke. Okay, nice and extendable. Punch, crane puncher. Okay, I should. Okay, kind of dislocked it. Now I need to put it back in, and then. Crane arm. And now the freezing gun. Mr. Freeze. Okay, if it's an all yellow guy, I guess Spark Bit. Nozzle, not forgetting the nozzle this time. I thought we were just doing the robots. You didn't say they were also doing the human characters. I mean, I didn't hear that, but anyways. Finally, the twins and brothers are complete. I stickered it up off screen, but then they're gonna sticker it off later. Now now it's time for the Gatai. Hopefully it will fare without half of his bicep swivel. Okay, start by building the torso. Muscles and Mike's muscle hide. B214. Where's the B2s? Okay, now for the slider. Waist slider. Waist slider. Okay, hello Tobot V fans. So, yeah, I think I saw the GaoGaiGar when it first came out, like 2019. I only saw just some of the first few episodes. Not really Power Ranger guy. Decided to pick up one of the toys, but then I guess it was in an attempt at a Korean-produced tokusatsu. But I guess, judging by the heavy clearance toys to this day and several toys that ended up in Daiso dollar stores and then that cleared pretty well, and now only a few of the accessory packs are left to this day. I don't think it did that well, unfortunately. But bit of a shame. But it was there isn't a claim to a completely Korean original tokusatsu, at least. I guess I had some ideas, maybe. I guess I like the turtle. I guess I like the Phoenix with the Phoenix and turtle idea. Anyway, just to put the torso back in. Okay, I'm getting back to you, okay? Okay, so I don't... Okay, maybe I'm not really that... I'm still not that... Assessing cartoon episodes still not really my strong suit. Is what I think is... What is generally a worse one, it would just be character breaking. Someone... Although I think Star said, Star said she didn't like how GaoGaiGar was a bit of a jerk. So I guess... Yeah, I guess when characters are a bit abrasive to each other, when they... Okay, now I'm going to build his head. Just wanted to build a torso first, and now I'm going to build his head. The big old pink forehead. And now his white face print. Hello, OG Twin Punch inspirations. Just gonna stand him here while we're getting his combined parts ready. On a side note, I guess I'm gonna look to see how to keep the dub. We're gonna keep calling them twins. Twins. Throw a rocket at them. Throw a rocket fist at them that does not punch because punchy is too punchy. Yeah, of course the epic finales would be the best episodes. Okay, gonna twist the little alt faces off. That's nice contrast of the eyes. Silverhead. Of course, the season 2 finale was epic, the most epic and actually emotional comeback. I need to remind myself what episode 8 was again. I mean, I think the one with meteor crash, the one where the meteor. No, I mean the one where the secret of the fight revealed by silly antics. Yeah, what he said about them being characteristic. The worst one was being characteristically jerkish, just over ice cream, and they just over eat an ice cream. Okay, snap the neck. Up there buried, they're gonna put them off to the side again. And now his green gem. How do you put this? Well, of course, a little bit of lore. I guess we get to explore the time space warp tunnel they go through. I mean, the KRBrickBot season 14 already explored that a bit. Like, but it's still gonna be a bit vague about their origins. But yeah, so makes you wonder how they're gonna start with Metal KRBrickBot season 13, Metal KRBrickBot season 3. I mean, how they're gonna start that? Maybe this time they could just be away on a vacation. They could be away on an off mission or off planet because remember the original Speranza crew went off planet. So that can be right them off for a while, but the others maybe they're taking a break. Maybe they have to be maybe they're on a mission to somewhere else. Or the more elementary route would just somehow with some evil device they turn evil, and then they had to get them back. I guess I'm not. This is the first model kit, so I would not been aware if they actually have a shiny pink insert for the eyes, all the eyes. Yeah, I guess it's not the typical Gunpla where it's metallic eyes and metallic stickers. Yeah, I think the stickers are mostly limited to the chest and the windscreens. I guess more the detailing rather than actual details. I mean, although the guns do have little additional spots. Okay, what is this thing? What is the D1? Okay. Okay, and the moment has passed where where I just glanced over something that looked like a horn. Yeah, I don't think I can ever get into the Gundam series or show, but I guess I heard in the latest series that the original RX-72 returns to the multiverse, to great fanfare. The GQUEX or whatever that called. Interesting double jointed shoulders and now. Click right here. How is that going to hold together? How is that shoulder going to hold together? I'm gonna have to really push this in, aren't I? I think I am stressing it a bit, or maybe that's Bruce. Okay, now for the red pot, which is here. I guess ChatGPT could be. I don't know. I never thought of using that as a scale tool. So. Yeah, I think there was an interesting tweet from the designer, like Osro himself, about regarding Sky Gallup's. I guess only in close-ups is she like the most scale accurate to a giant carrier plane like that. But then I guess slightly shrinks, but is still taller than Gigant and Blast Rain in robot mode. And then of course the toy is tiny, but then that lends herself to become a backpack super fan mode for Flame Nova for whatever reason that caught on. Oh, and it's interesting since there are duplicate screws, you have duplicate heads. Basically, you have duplicate helmets and eyes, but no faceplate. Spares. And here's his other shoulder. Chest time. Lock that all in with his pecs, his impeccable pecs. And I guess they'll just insert this chest piece into his chest beforehand. Nice. $38. B338. Okay, now I'm reminded where his bicep soles was. I just forgot where they were. Okay, now I'm just gonna rectify his bicep swivels. In case if you're wondering where I lost the shoulders and then found them, it was under Optimus Prime's trailer I have off to the side. It just somehow flew all the way over there, but at least not off the table. That was. Imagine him with these pretty tiny arms. Okay, now, yes, perfect mic system. Yeah, but I haven't perfectly put in his shoulders yet, actually, yet. This is hard. How did I not notice the little stopper there was... I did not... I totally forgot to see the little stopper. Unsnap. Careful. Okay. There is the little stopper in here, and then I had to just snap at it. Careful. Okay, yep. There was a little stopper there. You had to slot that in first, and then, 180 for that. And because of my brutishness, I think I ruined that little peg side. I totally smushed it all the way down for this side. So I don't know how that's gonna work. How that's gonna work here. And I just forced it. I forced it, so that's gonna be a much tighter fit. Secured but tighter fit, I guess. Okay. Now back to 38, which is right here. Whoop. Okay, C3s. Skirt flaps. Got the flapsies. Okay, so while I'm finishes up, if there are no other comments, I guess I'm gonna switch to the commentary of the famous Dumb Jake's comment. The famous. Okay, so regarding the future of Transformers movies.
Good internet, Jake here, Jake as ever, and we're back with another news video. One I was not expecting to have to make. Like, I would not expect this news headline to happen for like 5 years at least.
I don't remember. Did I try putting the card in GaoGaiGar's trailer? I don't remember right now. I mean, I don't remember if it fit. Maybe it did. Okay, I found the 47. Cut out cleanly, it says. So just really get precise with these nippers. Okay, well that's an interesting plot premise for season 3. A suggestion. What he plans if. What if we don't focus on Blue Cop and have a different lead character? But then how would that affect the marketing? Why did they put the blue? Why did they put the blue skirt on the red side, huh? Because I was looking at the two pairs of instructions that just are basically identical. We're just basic same assemblies, but it's just the red side and the blue side. B219, B2. Okay, and it looks like those skirt flap pieces are on the opposite side. They should actually be going on the opposite side. That'll be a shakeup. You can actually focus on a different character for marketing. And they put that skirt flap on the other skirt the wrong way. Okay, there's the red side done. We should be over here. Of course, should be over here unless I want to sacrilege, right? That's a direct joke. That's fan speculations. Fan speculation theories. Real. Here's the other 38. Yeah, we can know when to take a joke. Or just take fan theories without heaps of salt. Sheer. Have we found what's? Have we found the name of the soundtrack? I mean, I guess epic chords. You know, those all the epic chanting when epic antagonist entrance chanting with that combination sequence. Who knows if we can find the original soundtrack of that, or that was original, or something original sound, something close enough. Okay, there's the blue side. Okay, so there's this torso that just suddenly appears to combine the Gatai and then just goes absolutely nowhere else. Gonna take a drink and then back in a few. I am not gonna sing because I'm not a singer and I don't know exactly what it was, but I did find out that there is plenty of room to put metal cards in GaoGaiGar's trailer. So if you just put in just the cards, you could possibly put a whole dozen of them in there. That would be nice metal card storage for just the cards. Okay, thanks. Okay, now to build the rest of Choryujin's combination parts. '63, 63, and 62. 64. I think Volk's very good assessment of car shapes. I guess I'm not the most expert at that, but I guess. And here I was saying this car might act as a Mercedes just because of going off of one car instead of like two. '59, 60, 58, 59, 60. Yeah, actually, the official Metal KRBrickBot guidebook says Red Blitz is based off of a Toyota 86. Though I thought his front grills look more like a McLaren. Yeah, Red Blitz part Toyota, part McLaren. Click. Central click. 61 bicep. Arms. The 44. You still remember that live stream because I was experimenting. with this format and I just didn't know how to do horizontal at the time, so it just ended up being vertical. So I know how to do that now. Okay, now D1. Now here is his forearms. Sandstar. What an Metal KRBrickBot OC name. Or directly translated name. Probably should put in the fist before putting in this. Okay, just gonna pop off the nozzle. And then fist. And with no more on the sprues, that one's off. How does this fist put on? There are different kinds of fists, huh? Okay. Different. Yeah, I figure we're saying Glober. We're just wondering how Sandstar came up. Okay, so that's a whole dedicated forearm. Oh, yeah, I guess I could just put him on here already, and then just take off a whole bunch of his parts and just put it on there. Well, the official guidebook says a Mitsubishi Pajero V60 SUV. And then, yeah, the official guidebook says Toyota 86 or Red Blitz, even though this part looks much like a McLaren. So somehow a McLaren and Toyota hybrid. He's got the Riz. Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, he's so surprised. I was surprised they got this on here. So I think I saw somebody already put them up on the wiki, the English wiki, the most comprehensive Transform Robot wiki, because we're kind of slacking on the other wikis, I guess. Yeah, so I guess when I'm not gonna go through this, I guess see if someone who also got this book put it up on the wiki, like Yak 130. The Caballo, maybe that's a record crane. Part Peterbilt, part Kenworth. Okay, now for his other arm. Which I'm just gonna go off of repeat patterns. Just somehow directly put them on. Nice big. Nice big. Oh yeah, so my one effort at a stop motion skit because I really want to do something with characters, so I guess I studied a bit and decided to go right into the mid tier of stop motion for my short escapades, and I keep telling myself I want to do a full stop motion TV series, but I still never happened to get around to doing that. I guess my tricks are just to try to keep it at a consistent frame rate and then also clean up the green screen spills. Yeah, I didn't get why they called it wiki to just fandoms. That's oh dear. Okay, there's another forearm, and now. Okay, now for his red parts after I put on his fist. Yes, I saw. Yes, I saw that. That was a big lengthy explanation of the excavator. Okay, now for your shoulder block. Okay, now for the dedicated leg pots. Okay, gonna go back to listening to something to Jake.
But just goes to show what's going on with the Transformers franchise and what, like, okay, okay, we should just get into it because this is pretty crazy stuff going on. So let's switch over here. Michael Bay is developing a new Transformers movie and he wants to direct. That is incredibly interesting. Crazy headline to see at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's not 5 a.m. right now. I went back to bed. I don't care about this that much, but this is a crazy headline, and it is not the only headline. It's just one of many crazy headlines. After we read this, so Michael Bay.
그럼 시작해볼까요? 수치의 선수도 있고 18세 1순위로 보는 건?
In case you don't know, for some reason directed the first 5 Transformers movies. He made Paramount Pictures a lot of money with those movies, made Hasbro a lot of money. I do see why they would want to bring him back, especially after the Rise of the Beast and Transformers 1. Movie studios get really cold feet really quickly. So they're like, okay, we tried to do it without Michael Bay and now it's not working. It's not going good. So they're bringing him back, right? Next thing I see. Transformers 1 director Josh Cooley is developing a new live-action Transformers movie. What? Why is Transformers 1 director Josh Cooley directing a new live-action Transformers movie? I'm not even sure he's done live-action movies before. I think he's only done animated films.
Okay, I figured out how to do this.
4, I want to say. So that's interesting.
You really had to get it
culture
eye level to figure out
there
what it's
are
going to.
reportedly 5 #Transformers projects in development, and then they say Josh Cooley is set to direct a live-action film. The Transformers and G.I.
After I get
Joe
one of
crossover,
this in the hole.
Michael Bay's potential next live-action film, and 2 additional projects are in early stages. And all this is coming from Puck News, which, all right, I've never heard of Puck News, but I guess they are reliable in some way. I would take this as gossip, I guess, until we know for sure. Now, this is interesting to me. I do believe that Josh Cooley or Michael Bay are going to be directing the Transformers X G.I. Joe film. I don't think, most likely, in my opinion, here's my theories regarding all this stuff. I'm just going to rip some theories, and we're going to see in the comments what you guys think as well, because, you know, it's all up in the air. It's all guesswork right now. I'm not even
53,
sure this is real.
54,
the Transformers X G.I.
55.
Seems obvious for Michael Bay. Michael Bay is military propaganda the director. You know, he's like done like the Transformers movies. I believe the first one was supposed to have like a backdoor, you know, intro for G.I. Joe, and then they scrapped it for some reason. Probably just to make the movie simpler, something like that. Him doing G.I. Joe and Transformers makes perfect sense to me. G.I. Joe is military propaganda, the kids' cartoon. and he loves to do military stuff. He just loves those big ass planes they use and the jets and the military
Big
equipment and all that.
scenes.
He loves it. I feel like Michael Bay is the most likely candidate for Transformers X G.I. Joe. Josh Cooley. Josh Cooley is extremely interested in this scenario. He directed Transformers 1, obviously, which is completely animated. So now he's set up to direct a live action film. Is this live action film going to be in the continuity of the previous live action films? That is the question. Because either it's going to be a live action film that goes with the continuity of the other films, or it's going to be a live action sequel to Transformers 1. Let's just say the Transformers 1 cast, we skip forward like a million years and we're on Earth now. Or we're going to Earth. And then they integrate from being all CGI into these 3D live action characters. That's something that I would like to see, because I just want to see the Transformers 1 design characters come back. I really like the takes on those. I would have preferred to see like a trilogy set on Cybertron, but clearly Paramount thinks an animated Transformers movie is a no-go, which I disagree. I fully disagree. I think they just did a shit job at showing it off, and they didn't market it well enough. But I do think that the combo of what do you have? Damn dog. Okay. The combination of being a sequel to Transformers 1 and then also being a live action movie, which clearly audiences crave. They literally cannot sit down and watch an animated movie. It's like getting injected with cyanide or something to them. Both the sequel to TF1 and a live action movie could be a banger. Could be like financially very successful. Or is Michael Bay, moving back to Michael Bay, sorry, my mind is going everywhere because this is just insane news to wake up to. Does Michael Bay just continue on his Bayverse story? Like, pick up from where we left off with The Last Night and we just go from there? And then Josh Cooley picks up Transformers X G.I. Joe. I hate that. I do not want that to happen. I think those movies, The Last Night, they're all messed up, man. They're all messed up. They didn't pay attention to anything, any continuity, anything they said in the previous movie. They just completely ignored for the next movie. Like, it's all screwed up, those movies. So I don't
Big
feel
black
like it's worth
foot.
even going back and trying to repair whatever. But unfortunately, I can totally see him doing that. I can totally see him not wanting to go back and make a G.I. Joe X Transformers movie that's like vaguely tied into the originals, but not really. I could totally see him going, I want to go back to what I was doing when I left. Do the Unicron is Earth stupid storyline thing that they were setting up at the end of The Last Night. I could totally see him doing that, unfortunately. And Josh Cooley directing Transformers X G.I. Joe, I don't know. Maybe they just give it to him because they know he did a really good job on Transformers 1.
Tobot it down.
If anyone deserves their flowers, it's Josh Cooley, because he just like.
Now, how do you put this foot on?
Transformers 1, like, it was critically acclaimed. Like, it was not financially acclaimed, but it was critically acclaimed. And I think Paramount knows this guy understands the franchise to some extent and could probably make a good live action movie. That's why I think he's set up.
Okay, I guess it's on the back here.
Because I don't think they want to just like give up on Josh Cooley because the movie didn't work out. Movies are toss-ups in general on whether or not they're gonna be a hit or not, and I wouldn't really consider what happened with Transformers 1 to be Josh Cooley's fault at all. Like, every single bit of praise and extra tickets they sold were because of Josh Cooley's work, all right? So that's why I think he's like in these talks as well, because this Michael Bay coming back, low-key, I wasn't expecting it, but now that it's been said, it's completely unsurprising. Paramount's in panic mode. They don't know what to do with the franchise.
I wonder.
Let's go back to our roots.
Guess we're gonna have to just encase that.
Right? And plus, when you bring back Bay, you can do all your little marketing stunts. You can shout out all the old movies that people used to love growing up with. All that BS that sells movie tickets more than just a good movie. Do I think Michael Bay's next movie will be good? Next Transformers movie will be good. Look, I think if he has like some semblance of a good writer on the team, I think it could be pretty good. Yeah, I think Michael Bay is a good director.
Okay, so these hats are just going to cover over something later, so just leave it off to the side.
I think it's good. Whenever he's on one of these damn Transformers movies, though, he has the most, like, some of the most hack writing on it, I bet. Like, you guys know. Like, even if you like the movies, you know. Sometimes the writing is just so hack.
Okay, gonna check back on the comments now. How evil do you think Flay Noah could be if he was evil? No, I don't know, Sparkbit could be the really vain one.